inlet water flaring tool. Okay, this one I have absolutely no idea if I have it. I don't think I do. I use whatever's available. I don't see it on here. It was a tool that was kind of left off. I don't see it in here. If you guys see it, stop me, but I don't think it's in the newer book.
What's the purpose?
If you look at the top of a KG or a KF or a KE4, it's got this, the midsection has the copper tube coming up and it's flared over the top. And that's how it's fastened in there.
What I found is that is a single install only. You have to cut that off to get the water tube out if in fact it needs to come out. And then you need the tool
Well,
to
that depends
reflect.
on who you bought the engine from. It had been used in brackish or sole oil, so you were screwed. Well, there it is, I think. That looked like 22407. Waterline inlet flaring tool. There it is. Let's see if we can find it. Maybe we got it. 224. No, I don't. 22408. I go from 22402 to 22408.
So how do you do your flaring without one of those?
But let's see if it's up on the unidentified tools up here. We'll try that too.
Matt, how do you do it without one of those tools?
How do I do it?
Yeah.
Very carefully.
Oh, there you go. You have a flair for that work.
Let's see what we got here. Maybe it's in here. Maybe we have such a thing. I don't know.
Well, that's in an area that brute force is not a consideration.
Don't believe we got one. But maybe we'll find something here that we... I think somebody made that tool. But whatever. Nope, don't have one. So that's not... We don't have one of those. I would have used the end of a... like that's rounded, and if you walk it around as you hammer it, you can use that as a soft hammer, and that end will flare the end pretty nicely. Okay, so the next one's a torque wrench. I have them over in the other building. They've changed a little bit, but that's a pretty standard item. There it is again.
That's pretty high tech for.
Could you buy it from Mercury? Yes, 24163, but we're talking about some pretty serious change. Piston pin tool. Okay. Some of these older engines, this piston pin tool makes life actually pretty easy. A lot easier than you'd think.
Oh.
So that's a really useful tool.
It is a very useful tool.
You can see it's got a hole in the top to push the pin right out through. Some pins are loose fit, some pins aren't.
Right.
And the machining in those days, you could get one piston out of the engine that you could literally push it out with your finger, and the other one you have to use this pushing tool.
I have an old Johnson QD10 that says loose fit on the inside of the skirt of the piston. Loose.
Well, those are tapered, those pins.
Well, it says loose fit. Right? It's cast right into that. And
the other end's not loose fit. So you're supposed to get the tapered end. I had a terrible time figuring that out.
I'm going, what is wrong with this pin? Why will it not come out? Well, I did what Lincoln said to do. Put the heat to it.
That work?
Which I did. And then I found out that I was driving it in the wrong direction.
Yeah, right. Yeah, those are tough. Coil and condenser tester. These are Stevens. Mercury went to a Mercatronic very shortly thereafter. We said 54. They had, my guess, not by knowledge, says that Carl Kiekever probably got in a fight with the Stevens Corporation because they wouldn't do it exclusively for him. So he somehow got hooked up with this guy, did the Mercatronics. This is the main part of the tester. This is a milliamp meter, which is great for setting up points. And you could see some of the Stevens stuff. I have a tester, it's not here yet, but this is the magnetizer. Keycaver obviously offered it and then didn't, because they told you how to make one in one of the other manuals, later manuals, so hard to say what went on. But Keycaver was a very difficult band to deal with, from what I understand.
I was a tyrant.
Well, I mean, I had a customer of mine who dealt with him during World War II at Disson. He was one of the Disson saw people, and he dealt with Keycaver making the chainsaw from World War II. And he said he was he said a bastard is what he termed him.
Wound a little bit too tight. Wound too tight.
So duo gap Magneto winding tester, I have absolutely no idea. I've never seen one of those. And the magnet charger, I have the magnet charger, but I don't know what this power unit for magnet charger and coil and condenser tester. There's another one up there, which is a Stevens. Those are all Stevens, all that gray stuff. Okay, now Helicoil service kit, those are still available. Mercury offered those to their dealers. They've changed a little bit over the years, but they're very expensive and they do work very well.
They will definitely get you out of a pinch.
And then there's a spark plug Helicoil toolkit, which has changed a couple of times over years, because those used to come out with they had trouble holding them in there, but sometimes they're the only thing that works.
Now they make a solid insert that you can put in its place versus the stainless coil.
Right, but those have problems too, as I have found out. KD made those.
Yeah.
Magnet rotor installing tool. To install a scintilla magnet rotor, and let's see, that should be in here. For lucky we can find it. Stop me if you guys see it. Should be fairly close to. Let's see. Should it be up here? It should be with that one, but it's not. I think that's it. Install scintilla. Okay, that's a 24156. Let's see if we got that. 24596. 24. I know I do have it. 24. 7. If you see it, let me know. 24. Maybe 11 dash. That's it right there. That's there's 24154. I've got 247, but I do believe that's what that is. I must have changed it somewhere along the line. See, there's the slot for the keyway, and you screw. Not exactly. Yeah,
it's threaded on the inside.
Yeah, and it pushes down this screws into the top of the crankshaft, and then you hold on to it with this flat flange, and you push the bolt pushes the rotor on.
Which that is possibly the how would you say that? That's very important that you use this tool,
so you don't,
because you don't want to take a shortcut and use a hammer to drive that rotor on.
You'll lose the magnetism.
You'll knock the magnetism right out of it. Then you'll be taking it off again.
Thank you. Yeah, good.
Blush. Yeah. And you don't want to use a torch to heat that up so it comes off easy.
Magnetism again, right. Good, yeah, really good advice, absolutely. So now we have, these are all part of that same tool. All these pieces down here, the pieces that were all assembled in that tool itself. They made extra pieces so that when you buggered them, you could put in a new one. In fact, I've got an extra screw with that one. Allen insert wrench. Okay, I think that's in here. That is pretty important, actually. I never thought I'd ever use it, but I have with KE KE7, KF7, maybe there they are right there. 2474. Okay, there's a couple of different ones. Obviously, when this was made, there was only one, but as time went on, they used it for more different things. So there's more than one. There's 3 of them in actuality. So what have we got? 24745, 247, probably right in there somewhere. Yeah.
Well, what they did was when they put the starter covers together,
There they all are right here.
yeah, that'll actually allow you to get under the handle to get onto that
Yeah.
kind of something.
Somehow it works better than, yeah.
I've seen where they've drilled through and the handle to put an Allen wrench in there. Yeah, it takes.
Okay, so you've actually, I'm lucky that I have this stuff. I kind of remember that I got it and I use it. Timing gear puller tool. Okay, that would be used on a KG and a KF9, the big 4-cylinder engines. And there's the timing gear you have to take off in order to drop the magneto down. So you pull it off. I don't know if I've got one. I tend to use just a regular puller, but let's just see if it's in here. There it is. 23622. Let's see if I've got one hanging up. 236. I'd say I don't have that. I probably use 2 screwdrivers. I don't see it up there either. So I gotta say no, I don't have that.
Now, what's that tool do again? Pulls
That engine, well, that's a Mark 40, but the gear-driven magnetos, which is on the KF and KG9, is at the top of it is a gear which is pressed on to the magneto shaft,
Okay.
and most of the time it just falls off. You undo the cap screw that holds it in place,
Couple of screwdrivers.
and a couple of screwdrivers, it comes right up.
But if not, that puller
That would pull it.
is gonna do it.
So we don't have that one. That one I didn't get. By the way, these tools came to me from a number of different sources, but most of the guy came from like a Lou Loud up in Bangor. He was the biggest Mercury dealer in the state in the 50s. And he used to get everything sent by truck. Mercury Marine actually delivered it right from the factory, his engines and stuff like that. So from there, I have over the years bought out other dealers. You have 2 of these Super Silent 6 and KF9, KF5 engine stands, because those have a big long snout and you have to go up inside of the snout in order to mount it up. Yeah, you like that. That make you that warms your heart.
Why they built that engine in that fashion, that's just beyond me.
I've got 3 of them. It was a tool that was obviously used hard. There doesn't seem to be any wear on any of these.
Surprised it doesn't still have the Cosmo in it.
They could use those for COVID testing.
Oh, God. Okay, so the next one
Just
we got
need a bigger
is
drill.
the end cap puller tool to pull a crankcase end caps. Yeah, some of them have actually threaded holes in some of the 4-cylinder ones. And I think there is one of those in here, right here. Here it is. Do I use it? No, because they made a universal one which works for everything right here. This basically replaced this. And a lot of other tools too.
I kind of like just loosen up 4 or 5 bolts on the very end of the case. And then it comes right out.
Sometimes you gotta use those. I don't know why they stick right in there, but you're right, usually because I don't want to loosen it up. Oil seal sleeve tool. Let's see if we've got that in here. Any chance the oil sleeve seal tool is in here? I don't see it. Must be one of those non-existent tools. 22403. Oil seal sleeves. There it is right there. Okay, 22403. 22403. 22402. Nope, don't have it.
And that was a must. You had to have that tool.
Wait a minute.
There it is.
There it is, 22402. That's one of them.
Why did you have to have that, Matt?
Well, you know, it's really difficult to get a seal down that the actual tube that's cast into the cylinder block. It's quite a ways away from the very end. So getting in there to try to drive that squarely, you need a pilot like that to do it. I mean, it's just nothing is centered inside that tubing or anything. So you need to, you got to know what you're doing and what you're looking at, because you don't just drive that in there.
Okay, so this is used, where would I've never used it, so I don't.
Well, due to the fact that the actual motor is built wrong as far as I'm concerned, could have done a lot better. This acts as a pilot to get that seal down into that area. First you have to take the cap off.
Which motor is this?
KF5.
Oh, okay, yeah. That one you really
and
can't
Mark
get to
6,
anything.
you can't know.
But one of the other reasons for it is if you look inside of this tool, you can see a little step.
There's a step.
And there's a step on the crankshaft, and that's a lot of times what will happen is the seal lips will get peeled up. And what this taper allows is you to keep those seals so they're facing down this way and not catching on the end and flipping up like that.
Right.
So
Yeah, it actually pushes on the metal portion of it so you don't booger the seal.
okay, Magneto drive bearing tool. Let's see, we have that remove oil seal and inner tool and bearing press out. Let's see, is that in here? Magneto bearing tool. It might be. They might have incorporated it in some of these other ones. I don't see it in particular. If it looks like anything, this would be what we're looking at. It's possible that's what it is right there. This is a 24096. 24096. Let's see if there's a 24096 right there. Magneto drive bearing tool. There it is right there. By God, that's what it is.
And all of the sockets that I beat up, and you have the tool.
Hey, ask. I told you could. You just gotta ask.
You'd have to know what you're asking for.
Oh, I know I'm going to get something.